So last night I did something bad.
Bad? Bad?
It was bad. It didn't involve me being naked. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't hurt anybody. So before you ask about that, the terrible, awful, horrible thing that I did last night is that upon doing other things that were good and fun, I was in Kirksville, Missouri, and I decided to go see a film called Independence Day 4 Resurgence. ID 24 R,
Something,
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
ID,
they've got
ID
that.
4-2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo, yes. So I thought that, although kind of like Christ did, I'm a Christian, so he teaches us, do as I did. So take up on the world's sins so that the others may not have to have to take them. So
Wow.
basically, yeah, that's a terrible comparison, isn't it? That's awful. I'm probably going straight to hell just for making the comparison. What I was going to do today, and be warned, well, I shouldn't even give you a warning. I should just spoil it for you so you don't see it because it was bad. But I'm just going to tell Tommy right now everything that he missed in the movie, and it won't make him sad because it's bad.
It won't make me sad because I don't care to see it.
Right. So be
And
warned.
neither should you.
And neither should you. That's a threat. Spoilers. 1, 2, 3. So we open up the movie literally 20 years after the last one because
it's been 20 years.
It has been 1996 on Independence Day. Bill Pullman, right? Bill Pullman was
Bill Pullman, I believe, was the president in that movie. And
Right.
also the coach in the Mighty Ducks, right?
No, he's not the coach. The coach in the Mighty Ducks was what's his name?
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's brother.
Right, Charlie Sheen's brother, which I had no idea of, and then somebody told me that. I was like, geez, how did I not ever know that?
So Bill Pullman, president.
Bill Pullman gave the speech, and the events of Independence Day 1 happened in 96. So 20 years later, you have it open up, and we meet Will Smith's son from the last one. The little kid that I think was the same little kid from Terminator 2 Judgment Day that was the son that's like playing with the remote control car and go to bed. I don't know how well you remember the movie, but he's all grown up, and now he's this he's like this military hero. He's like an Air Force hero, and human beings have used the technology from the aliens before to like beef up our weaponry and beef up our planes and everything, all of our technology. Whereas Thor's brother, I can't think of the guy's name.
Liam.
Yes, he plays. His character's name is Jake, so I'll remember his character pretty well. And the two of them were competing at one point for being the super. Yay! I'm the greatest Air Force guy ever. And in
Did
doing
they play
so,
volleyball to decide that? Or?
No, they didn't play volleyball.
Sounds like that was pretty standard to decide.
No, they were doing kind of like a race through mountains, kind of like in the first Independence Day. Remember when they're doing that like Star Wars fight near the land? They're doing something similar to that, and Jake runs into Will Smith's son and causes him to crash. So they've got a little bit of beef between them, right? So Thor's brother, Liam, and I'm going to refer to him the rest of the podcast as Thor's brother because I'm not going to remember the name Liam. But Thor's brother is kind of like banished or punished by going to the moon and helping set up a defense turret up there. Like we've got this just giant, I think they said $500 billion weapon system to defend.
Yeah.
You still with me?
We've used the moon as a military installation.
As a Death Star, but not as powerful.
Okay.
So he's up there, and we've got a little bit of stuff that happens with him, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, like, this black hole opens up there, and this big sphere comes out. So you have the UN, and there's been, by the way, has been 0 wars since the last movie because we've been at peace as of Bill Pullman's aforementioned speech.
I've always said there's nothing to bring our world together than the threat of an alien invasion.
Yes, especially when in a sci-fi film.
Especially when in a sci-fi film, but I believe if the world's leaders were to get together, the Illuminati, and to stage a alien threat, I think that we'd have no more wars. They wouldn't want to do that because there's too much money to be made off wars. But
okay,
sorry, that's
getting a little political there. Just touched my heart there, like with that.
Tom Benson's Conspiracy Hour. Well,
spin-off show has to come. So the sphere shows up, and everybody's like, what do we do? What do we do? And they've got this UN thing, and pretty much everyone's like, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. And so they choose to fire. And by the way, this Death Star thing is run by the Chinese guy who is running the money in the Dark Knight movie.
The bad guy that gets Fultoned out of the...
Yeah, he's that guy. So I'm going to be making a lot of references as we explain this, so stick with me. So they shoot the thing, it gets hit, and it's like destroyed, and it crashes on the moon. Everyone's like, yeah, we win. And all the smart people in the film from the last movie.
So Jeff Goldblum,
his dad is back in it again. Like, I figured he'd be dead by now.
Yeah, the other...
because he's old in the last
Jewish guy.
Yeah. And, like, all the other smart people that have been introduced in the film are all like, hey, let's keep our defenses up because, like, what else is going to come out new? Like, the black hole closed, but we haven't seen anything for 20 years, so let's be ready. And the president, plot hole number 1, and, like, all the leaders are like, no, let's celebrate. Let's all have booze, like, this is awesome. We're going to declare our victory over these aliens. While they're celebrating, we go back to Will Smith's son and Thor's brother. They're like kind of have to team up, and they're digging in, like excavating the crash zone, and they find like this, what ends up being the MacGuffin of the movie. They find this like box thing, and they bring it out, and right when they're getting ready to leave, the alien ship from the last movie, but much like, I want to say they said it was 30,000 mile diameter.
So it's like the mothership, but much larger.
Oh, yeah, much, much larger. It covers a huge portion of the Earth. It comes out of another black hole or something. It just appears all of a sudden. No one saw it coming somehow. But they get away somehow or another, which doesn't make any sense with the film's MacGuffin. And one way or another, they get to Area 51. During this time, we learn that the ship has its own gravitational pull. So one of the really cool parts of the movie that I would say still rent it on Redbox when it comes out. People, like, whenever it's flying above, like, people are like, oh, and like float up to it and die, and then it turns off its gravity and everything crashes. But you have some really cool aspects of the movie. But going back to that, the humans, of course, are like, let's attack the ship and we'll kill that ship too. And they lose. They get their butts kicked, like in the last movie. While they're getting their butts kicked in Area 51, the long hair guy, like the scientist that, like, we do not want peace. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that guy. He's not dead. He's been in a coma for 20 years. And he, like, because he's was used to speak to them, he can like see stuff.
He's got some sort of link.
Yeah, and so that's a little weird. But he's like cutting into this thing that they got from the sphere, and out of there comes this smaller like white sphere, and they touch it, and it starts to communicate with them, and it says, "I'm the last sentient like being from this race. We decided to like turn into robots," or I don't know. It's hard to explain. But these aliens, these harvester aliens, come and they harvest all of our resources, and they kill everyone. And I'm literally the last one. And there's a planet where a bunch of different races, different like aliens and stuff, are all like forming together and like training to be able to take on the harvester robots, the harvester aliens. So they said, and she says, but the bad thing is, once you touch me with your hands, you send out a radio or a signal that they can detect. So they learned that the queen, they work off of a hive technology thing, kind of like in the first one. And so they said the only way we can win is if we kill the queen. The queen shows up at Area 51. There's a big battle. They kill the queen. That's the end of the movie. And they're like, oh, now we can go to this planet and get better weapons for if they come again. So it ended with like, hey, there could be another movie. And now you've heard all this movie. I've explained everything. Yeah. You understand what's happened.
Jake watches it, so you don't have to.
I am... If you look right here, if I take this off, I'm the fat film Jesus. I died for your sins. I died for Hollywood sins, from Hollywood sins, so that you don't have to. That sounds terrible. I think I am going to hell now.
Most definitely. Yep.